Hello, everyone. This is Munir Barazi, your business analyst and host. We're going to go through the latest updates from the financial markets today and analyze a couple of ETFs using StockTA platform. Today, there were a few important pieces of news. First, US inflation ticked up. It posted 2.7% year on year in June, compared to 2.4% in May. So inflation ticked up, and this in a way triggered a sell-off in some indices. We'll take a look at that in a bit. On a more positive note, the Nasdaq 100 benefited from a US reversal on shipment of microprocessors for AI to China. So Nvidia and AMD saw positive returns, and they lifted Nasdaq 100 up to record highs, basically. There's also the earnings from the banks. There were solid earnings, which still says that growth isn't really hampered, at least not yet, by inflation, which is ticking up. So let's go very quickly through some indices. The Russell 2000, which includes many small cap companies, has reverse direction today. This is a big bearish daily candle. We might see a decline similar to this one because it's trading at some important resistance levels. We saw also declines in European indices like the German 30, the DAX, AIstocks all saw red candles. The FANG declined very slightly. It's still in an uptrend, so it's still not a concerning development from that angle. The S&P 500 saw a red candle, although it is at record highs and it is still in a strong uptrend. The Aussie 2000 or 200, saw a bearish candle at a very important resistance level. So we might see a drop to the downside on this index, especially considering this move back in February. This was associated with tariff news, but we could see some major risk event that would trigger a sell-off. The Japanese, the Nikkei 225, saw a small bullish candle, and it's still also in a bullish trend, but generally it's still undecisive. So I want to go through ETFs here on StockTA, starting with Nvidia, which is resuming its upward trend movement. It's now trading at around 162. No major resistance levels in sight, record highs. And the only sign that might be a bit of concern is that all of the oscillators, all of those indicators, they're showing that it's overbought, but this is not a huge sign. Many financial instruments can still move upwards even though they are overbought. Some analysts even say that there's no such thing as overbought or oversold, so nothing to be majorly concerned about. Investors might want to wait for a pullback to establish an entry, a long entry, and they might wait for a lower reading on the trend scores here just to capture more upside, but generally there's nothing standing in the way of this to continue upwards, especially with shipments to China resuming. Amazon is still recovering from its decline here. Few resistance levels facing it, still not overbought on the RSI here, just slightly overbought on the stochastic. The MACD is consolidating. The momentum is weakened slightly here, but it is still recovering. It's still in an upward direction. Support levels are quite strong here, with only a couple of resistance levels to overcome, generally still a good long entry. The iShares Bitcoin Trust is, I believe, at record highs, especially with Bitcoin touching the 120 or 121 or 22 record highs. So this ETF is still going up, no resistance in sight. We still are not sure about those levels because this instrument has never traded here before. But generally, the momentum is very clear and the movement is very decisive. The RSI is at 70. It could continue up to 80. So nothing really could significantly hinder this from moving further upwards. QQQ, which is a NASDAQ ETF, also trading at key support levels, around key support levels, but it has been consolidating for a while. I mean, if you look at this movement here, this segment, there is not much traction to the upside. It's still moving upwards, but you do not see a lot of traction to the upside. So this might indicate that there is a small pullback before a continuation to the upside. But I'll let you decide on this one. It's hovering around 17 when it comes to its RSI. The stochastic is overbought. So we might see a pullback here before a resumption of this uptrend. The last ETF I want to look at today is the REMX, a rare earths strategic metals ETF. And the reason why I'm looking at this is because I was reading the news about Apple sourcing rare earth metals from a US government backed company supported by the Pentagon. And generally, the US wants to rely more on US sourced rare earth metals and potentially critical metals from the US and its allies. So it's a good idea to focus more on companies that are more aligned with that axis to benefit from this general policy. And as we can see here, it's in a very strong upward move here. It's been going up for a few days now. No resistance in sight. Trend scores are quite high, but they could still go further up. It's slightly above 70 on the RSI, slightly overbought on the stochastic. But again, this is a long-term trend and it has overcome major resistance level here above this peak at this place. So there is still much potential to the upside to catch on this one. This is what I have for today. So as always, please leave your comments in the comment section below and I'll make sure to get back to you on any questions you might have, and make sure you monitor your risks and trade carefully and responsibly. And I'll see you soon. Take care.